morning. Today we're going to go over Greek mythology. This is Dealier's book of Greek myths. It's my favorite, and even though it's a kid's book, it gives us all the information that we need, and the pictures are appropriate. So this picture shows a family tree kind of what the book explains. I know the picture right here is grainy, but I'll add a clear picture to your documents. All right, so we start out with Gaia. She's the earth. If you read the texts, this is Uranus. He's actually her son, and then her husband. Yeah, just go with it. So then they have kids. They have Titans and Titanesses, Cyclopses, which we'll come across in the Odyssey. And then, of course, Uranus doesn't want anybody to usurp him, so he puts everybody in Tartarus, and it's a dark pit under the earth. Even though the mother is the earth, he hides them inside the earth. It's weird. So she asks Cronus, the youngest Titan, to free all of her children. And he does, and he kills his father, Uranus. This is a picture of Gaia with her children hiding, and this is Cronus here. So then we get Cronus now has killed his father and marries his sister Rhea. And this is where he's scared his son is going to kill him, just like he killed his father. So he swallows all of his children. Yes, he swallows all of his children. And Rhea is horrified. So she's sick of it. Her last child, Zeus, she hides from him and lets him swallow a rock instead. So she hides Zeus with a goat, a magical goat, and nymphs. And they raise Zeus until he's old enough to, yes, go back to Cronus and trick him into drinking a potion that makes him sick. And he throws up his brothers and sisters, at which time the brothers and sisters are mad that their dad, swallowed them. They get into a war. And so this is a picture of Echidna. These are her monster babies, and they're still hidden in Tartarus, and they're left alive for other people, for the heroes to slay later. Zeus, there's a picture of Zeus in the book. He, of course, him and his brothers and sisters win and get rid of Kronos, and then they rule the world. They live on Mount Olympus because that's the highest point in Greece, and they drink, what is it called? They drink a special drink that makes them really wonderful. Okay, so this picture shows the pantheon of the Olympian gods. This is Zeus with Hera, Ares, Poseidon, Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Dionysus. This is, can't remember. This is Hephaestus, Apollo, Demeter, the little girl is Persephone, and guarding the hearth is Hestia. This must be Aphrodite. Sorry about that. Okay, so this explains all of that stuff. So Hera and Zeus married. Hera was jealous because Zeus was always stepping out on her. This is a story about, this is Io, one of Zeus's mistresses. She put Argus in charge of watching over Io so that she couldn't be turned back into a human. Well, Zeus sent somebody to kill Argus and put all of his eyes on the peacock, on the feathers of the peacock, and that's why the peacock is one of Hera's symbols. However, Io was let go, and Hera sent a gadfly to pester her for all time. Hephaestus Hephaestus's mom and dad are Zeus and Hera. Zeus wasn't happy with him, so he threw him off of Olympus, maiming him. He was strong, but his legs were broken, and so he had a hard time walking around. He was the one who made Zeus's thunderbolts from the thunderbolts, lightning from then on. Aphrodite bubbled up from the ocean. If you read the original myths, she was so when Uranus was killed by Kronos, his male parts were cut off and thrown into the ocean, and that's the spot where Aphrodite bubbled up out of the water. And so she didn't have a mother or father. She's kind of appeared. Other stories make it a little bit more G-rated, but that was the most interesting story. Ares' mom and dad was Zeus and Hera. He was the god of war. He was really handsome, but he was a jerk. Zeus made Aphrodite. Aphrodite had to marry Hephaestus, which she did not like, and so Aphrodite and Ares were always running off and cheating on Hephaestus. Athena's mom and dad technically were Zeus and Metis. Metis was the original goddess of thoughtfulness and wisdom. Zeus was scared that his kid from Metis was going to kill him, just like his dad and his dad's dad and all that. So he tricked Metis into turning into a fly, and he swallowed her. But she stayed in his head, counseling him. One day, Zeus got a headache. Hephaestus cracked his head open, and out came Athena from his head, fully grown, and she is the goddess of wisdom and tactical war. She is the opposite of Ares, brutal, cruel war, and she was Zeus's favorite. There's a story about her. She tricked her. She had a contest with her best friend, a weaving contest. It's a really good story. But she got angry, as gods always do, and turned her best friend into a spider, which is why they weave. That's a good story, but that's for another time. Poseidon was Zeus's brother. He's lord of the sea. He just kind of hangs out there. His wife Aphrodite is a nymph, a sea nymph. He wasn't really home. He traveled around on the ocean, and he liked to get into wars with other, affect wars with the Greeks by sinking their ships or giving them good weather to sail where they need to go. He's kind of a jerk, but they all were. Leto was another one of Zeus's mistresses. He turned into a swan to seduce her. So when she had babies, it came out in an egg, and inside the egg was Apollo and Artemis. Now Apollo became the god of the sun or the day. Artemis, there's Apollo there. Artemis became goddess of the night, of hunting, and of virgins. Now remember that virgins at this time only meant that they were strong women who didn't need a man to take care of them. And so she tended to be, in her stories, extremely independent. Anytime a man came and tried to seduce her, bad things happened to him. The only person that she ever thought maybe she could be with was Orion. They had an archery contest, and Orion was so good that they put him up in the sky as a constellation. But she was always very independent and never needed anybody to take care of her. And so you'll never guess who my favorite goddess was. So these are stories. There's the Orion story, stories about Artemis and Apollo. Hermes, he was a troublemaker. Uh, um, I guess in Norwegian mythology, Loki would be his equivalent. Um, his stories started when he was just a baby. He stole Apollo's um, herd of cows, and that's a good story. He covered up the trail so it looked like they were walking. So he walked them backwards so it looked like they were walking in a different direction. He became the messenger god. He is in the Odyssey. He delivers messages. He's the one who gave Apollo the lyre, not a liar like not tell the truth, a lyre, this this instrument right here. And there he is messaging things. Hades was Lord of the Dead. He was gloomy. Don't believe Disney. He was really gloomy. He's down there stuck, kinda. However, he saw Persephone. Persephone was Zeus and Demeter's daughter. Demeter was goddess of the harvest. Sorry. Um, Hades saw her one day and kidnapped her. Well, once Demeter couldn't find her daughter, she let the whole land die. So Zeus had to intervene, and Zeus said, "You have to give Persephone back to Demeter." And Hades said, "Yes, but she ate 6 pomegranate seeds of the dead, so she can't leave." So that was the deal. 6 months with her mom on the top, 6 months with her husband Hades in the underworld. And that's why we have the seasons. That's how the Greeks explained the seasons. I think that's a story about Persephone. Dionysus, he is a more recent god of wine and parties. He's, I mean, that's not as interesting as you would think. So that's the book about the major gods. It's a great book. I encourage you to get it, read it, any book that you like. Edith Hamilton's a little highbrow, but that's a good one. There's all sorts of books if you're interested in Greek mythology. I, of course, love it. After or during the video, please make sure you fill out your chart and turn it in. If you have any questions, please message me or join the Google Meet where we talk over all of the information. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon.